Hello everyone and welcome to Malu's Resilient People podcast. My name is Mara, I'm a writer, a healing therapist and a life coach who have met hundreds of people with amazing life experience to be shared. Stay tuned and feel empowered with these inspirational stories. Life can be a challenge to many of us, but it's how you react during the adversity that makes you different. Today we are talking to Elder, an inspiration for me, who after overcoming 4 cancers became a key player for Arsenal and England Amputees team. Hey Elder, nice to have you here.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Nice speech. Just wanted to tell you a big thank you for being part of our Resilient People podcast. And just to tell you the inspiration that you are for myself, special, and I'm sure the other people will feel the same. I just wanted to give a bit of your background to the people out there.
No, really appreciate you inviting me and saying those kind words. Just massive thank you very much. So like I said, my name is Helder. I was born in Portugal in Évora. I lived all my life in Portugal, in Alentejo, and I moved to London in 2015 in search for a better life. And it's been now 8 years. I've done so many things. Just a young kid from Portugal coming along.
And why we're here in a football pitch?
In a football pitch, because football plays such an important part in my life. I've been playing football ever since I was 7, 8 years old, perhaps. And there's not a day go by that I don't think or see or read something about football. So it's only fair that we are here next to a football goal in a football pitch surrounded by footballs, discussing a little bit about football as well.
Okay. What was your main achievement in football?
So in football, my main achievements, I would say, maybe taking part in World Cups. So I do play amputee football, and I've taken part so far in 2 World Cup championships for England, for the national team of England, and I played in also 2 European championships, also for, of course, the national team of England. So those would be 4 of the greatest achievements that I have ever accomplished in my life. The number 1 would be the 2017 European Championship final. Where we reached indeed the final, but we came up short and we got the 2nd place, but it was a fantastic experience nonetheless.
No, you must be very proud of Portuguese in an England team.
Well, I think I'm the first Portuguese ever to represent England. Perhaps I'm not sure about the main national team or any other sport, to be fair. Yes, I'm proud to play and had especially just to have the chance to play because, well, when you lose a leg, especially you think that football is over, that's it, football done for me. But there was this chance of playing, and England opened the doors for me. UEFA allowed me to play for England because Portugal doesn't have the sport itself. And there's no clubs, there's no national team in Portugal in amputee football. It's absolutely massively proud to represent England and trying to best to achieve all the goals that we have with the national team.
Tell me a bit about your journey when you find out about your illness.
Yes. So that was back in 2002. So I was playing football for Atlético de Reguengos in Alentejo. And in every training session, I was playing football for the academy club. And in every training session, I would shoot the ball, I would make a pass, and I would just collapse on the floor because my left leg would lose strength. I would just collapse on the floor out of nowhere. It's a little bit strange. I'll try to push again the left leg just to make sure that it is still there. But then I'll try to shoot again and again. In the moment that you put your strength on the left leg so you can shoot with the right, I would just collapse on the floor. And then, went to the physiotherapist, doctor to doctor, and they all said that it was sports injury related injury that I had. Until we went again from doctor to doctor because something was wrong and we couldn't find out what it was. Until one doctor asked for a specific, not a treatment, for a specific scan. I don't recall. I just what was it? And then yes, I did that scan. And when I came to the appointment, he told me straight away, you have to go directly to Coimbra. And then when I got there, yes, it was serious, and they told me straight away, yes, you have cancer. Don't worry, you're not going to die for this. So that was a big relief. But nonetheless, yeah, it was quite a shock. It was, well, 2002. I had just made my 14th birthday because I got hospitalized 2 weeks after my birthday. So it was quite a shock at the time. So I started crying. My mom started crying. My dad started crying. We all started crying. Mine as a doctor. But yeah, it was a shock. He had cancer. But then again, like you said, you're not going to die from this. It's going to be tough. Yeah, it was a tough couple of years, a lot of years. But then again, it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, they say.
It didn't stop you to achieve your main goal of playing football. Yeah?
No, absolutely. Even with crutches back then, I would always play in the street. I would always play with my brother, kicking a ball, doing headers, whatever it takes. Because like I said, I've been playing football since a young age, 7, 8 years old. So it's not having cancer that's going to stop you. So even on crutches, I would always play. But yeah, I never expected for it to become such a big part of my life, playing football almost every day, playing for a national club in England, for the national team in England as well. So yeah, and absolutely amazing.
So as you mentioned, in Portugal you don't have this kind of opportunities. What was your main challenge in Portugal back then when you were 14, 15?
I'd say just the lack of opportunities. I was working at the time in a call center, in a contact center, and I was there for 2 years, getting minimum wage. Rent was high, more than half of my wage at the time. Couldn't save any money. I was happy enough if I would have 20 euros at the end of the month. So there was not a bright future ahead for me in Portugal, especially if you have one leg, because disability is still very looked over the shoulder in Portugal. There's still, I don't know, people just still, oh, poor little fellow, oh, poor little. There's still that a little bit of mentality, which, okay, I understand. It's society. It's how Portugal was brought up. It's changing little by little with the effort of everyone, but it will take time. So yeah, back in Portugal, there wasn't that much of a brighter future for me. So I had to do something. I always had the dream of moving to London. I always seen London in movies. I spoke the language already back in Portugal because my family, my sister. So it was only the next, how would I say, not easy choice, but the next logical. Yeah, that's the next logical step for me. So in 2015, I moved to London, and yeah, the rest is history.
How was it to get here in such a massive city? You came from a small village.
Yeah.
In Portugal, that's the reality.
Yeah.
And how was it to get here, get yourself around, see there is a lot of opportunity for people with disabilities? How was it for you?
It was really good because I always had the support from my family. That was the main thing. As soon as I said to my family, my dad, that I wanted to move to London, first thing he said, go. Just go and make what you can do from out of your life. It's your life. You have to do whatever you can. So he always supported me in that sense. And I was fortunate enough to have very good friends that were already living in here. So when I came, it's not that I didn't have a house. No, I had a room to stay. And I had Pedro, Paulo from Évora, and they really helped me to start my life here in London. So for the first month, I had a place to live. So I only needed to start looking for a job, know the city, what to do, how to do things. And that was it. So after 2 weeks, I started a job as a night receptionist. And then from then on, it's up to you. So I get a room, get a house to live, and you just start doing your normal life. And like you said, yes, there's a ton of opportunities in here. You can do literally whatever you want to. The amount of things that I've done in this city, the amount of things I've seen, the amount of places I've traveled, none of that would have been possible if I hadn't come to London. If I would be still in Portugal, I would still be working in a contact center, in a reception of a hotel, in a restaurant, whatever it might be. And in here, the amount of people that I've met, the amount of things that I've seen, that I've done, was out of this world. And none of it would have been possible if I haven't moved to England, because there are a lot of opportunities. I encourage everyone, either you have a disability or not, to come to London, because the things you can do, there are no barriers. There's nothing you can't do in here.
And when you came here, in want such a opportunity worked here, how leaders now appear in your life?
I always like to say that it was pure coincidence. It was really funny. It was back in 2015. So I was working as a night receptionist. I would work from 10 p.m. until 7 a.m., 5 days a week. And it's just one of those nights where you're super tired from work. You just want to get 7 a.m., go home, get to bed, sleep, wake up, and do it all over again because you're still working the next night. But I forced myself to go into the gym because I was still going to the gym quite regularly, 3-4 times a week, perhaps. But on that day, I wasn't in the mood. But like I said, I forced myself. And funny enough, it was the first and only time that I met Luke Howard, which was the Arsenal football coach for amputee football at the time. And of course, he saw a guy with one leg. No, I need to speak with him because I can recruit him for my team. So there's not a lot of amputees in the gym that you find every now and again. So he approached me. And he said, "Hey, my name is Luke. I'm the coach for Arsenal amputee football team. Do you ever play football? Have you ever played football?" Well, this is a dream come true. Of course, I play football. I know everything about football. So he invited me along for a session at Arsenal Stadium, which was absolutely amazing. That was the next week after we met. And then after that, well, I started coming every week to Arsenal trainings, started playing with Arsenal in the league. And that was the start of amputee football for me. It was a coincidence meeting him at the gym, because if I hadn't forced myself to go into the gym on that day, perhaps I had never met him again, and we wouldn't be here today, perhaps. So it's funny how things happen in life, but glad it happened.
The universe is playing a big part.
No, absolutely. Again, you have to say yes to things. If I didn't go for the workout, never happened.
Like this belonging feeling when you got here to Arsenal?
Yes, no, 100%, because, well, you play amputee football. So you're going to see people would have the same issue as you. Either a leg is missing, or 2 legs are missing, or an arm is missing, or 2 arms is missing. So you're going to relate to people which have those disabilities through illness, or the same illness as you, or an accident, or a war, or whatever it might have been. So you relate in one way, shape, or form with those people, and you belong, absolutely. And the motto of Arsenal is Arsenal for everyone, and that relation goes to this team as we absolutely.
And did you get so good at playing at Arsenal that you were called to England team? No.
Yeah. Well, it was again another very, very good surprise. So I started playing football in 2015, amputee football in 2015, late 2015. With Arsenal, we went through the league. We weren't doing the best by then. We're not bottom of the table, but we're mid-table. Fair enough, good team. And then on the following year in 2016, I was at home in Portugal on holidays with my parents, and I got a call from the head coach of the national amputee football team at the time, Owen Coyle Jr. He called me, and I was like, "Why are you calling? What's happening? Is everything okay?" I think it was so he called me, and he invited me for the provisional squad back in 2016. And I've been with the squad ever since, with the England team. Then, as I mentioned, UEFA allowed me to play for England, even without having the passport at the time, because, like I said, Portugal doesn't have a national team. There's no clubs, there's no league, there's no sport, amputee football in Portugal. So UEFA allowed me to play for England, even despite not having the passport. And then, so 2017, we went to European Championships, 2018 World Cup, 2021, COVID, 2021 European Championship. Last year, we went again World Cup, and we're fighting again to go this year for the Nations League. And then again in 2024, we'll have another European Championship.
How was the feeling to get the pitch in a World Cup?
It's absolutely amazing. No, it is absolutely amazing. Representing, even, it's not the country where I was born, but it was the country that gave me a lot. So being able to give a little bit back, contributing for achieving something in the sport, to elevate the national team to the level that we want to, it's the least that anyone of us players can do to give a little bit back for everything that has been been given to us. It's massively proud learning the anthem, being together with your teammates and shouting.
Were able to sing the
Yeah, absolutely. No, that took me it took me a good year to not to learn because but there's not a lot of lyrics in it. But to be confident enough to sing it. And I started actually singing. The first time that I sang it was in 2017 in the European Championship final against Turkey, because we played in the Beşiktaş Stadium against 42,000 people in the stands, and most majority supporting the Turkish team. And as soon as the national anthem of England started playing, everyone started booing and whistling. And I'm like, we're all there together. I'm like, sorry, you're not going to sing along. We all started shouting. It was really, really emotional. You see the video nowadays, you can see that everyone is like really together and singing against 42,000 people booing us. And it was fantastic. Yeah, no, it was the first time. Like, I knew the anthem already, but like, I'm still not going to sing it. I don't feel but then they started being like, no, you're not going to have this. And we all started. It was, yeah.
And now is it because you one of the captains, yeah?
Part of the leadership team, not the captain of the team.
No, one of the captains. How is it? No, the feeling of being one of the leaders, as you mentioned, of a team that is in a World Cup or is in a Euro.
Yes. No, again, it's. I'm massively proud of it because it's not about wearing the armband, or it's nothing like that. But first of all, being trusted by your teammates for that position, for leading, for them to trust you. So being a foreigner and being in this country and with less experience than maybe many other players, and being trusted by them to be in this position, I cannot translate into words how proud I am of that and how grateful I am for their support. But then again, it's a huge responsibility because we have an amazing junior program coming along. 5-year-old kids playing amputee football, 6-year-old kids. So they all look up to the national team. So being able to be in this position and try to influence positively the youngster generation that is coming through, and they will represent England in the future. They will win European Champions. They will win World Cups. And to be able to have even a tiny bit of impact in that is a huge responsibility. I'm very grateful and proud to be in this
see yourself
position.
like a role model to those kids.
And to be able to have even a tiny bit of impact in that is a huge responsibility. I'm very grateful and proud to be in this
see yourself
position.
like a role model to those kids.
I don't like to say myself as a role model. I like to do the best that I can with what I have in the time that I'm here. If they enjoy it, if they take any little bit of information from me that I can pass on, any thought, any teaching of passing a ball, shooting, positioning, anything that I can teach to them, I'm happy with that.
How would you say to a small kid that is just crying in the car, that doesn't want to go to his first session?
No, just go. You have to go. I always say yes to everything that we hear today. Shooting a podcast, your podcast. You have to say yes to everything because you never know. You never know what might come after this opportunity, after the next opportunity. If you say no, that's the end of the story. You go home and you go to work the next day, but that's it. If you say yes, okay, you say yes. And someone might see this. Someone might hear about this. You might meet someone because of this. You might change your whole life because of this. So why not say yes? You have nothing to lose. The no is already granted.
Any projects for the future?
Well,
maybe playing for Benfica back in Portugal.
I would love to see amputee football in Portugal. I would love to have some input in it. I would love to have to be able to take this experience from here, from England, and go to Portugal and show, hey, there's a Portuguese guy playing in England. This is possible. I don't know, because I only found out about amputee football 11 years after I became an amputee. So that's 11 years without knowing that a sport exists to which you are qualified to play. So I'm 100% sure there are hundreds, thousands of people, maybe in Portugal, of course, that they don't have the slightest idea that this sport exists. So if I can contribute in any way, shape, or form to say, hey, Benfica, there's amputee football, start something with your foundation, Sporting, start something with your community, with your foundation, Porto, whatever the club is, start doing, because people will come. Everyone loves football, and especially Portugal, in a country where everyone is so madly in love with football. It's right there. So yes, if I can contribute with something, I would love to. Uh, but yes, for now, projects playing the Nations League for England, and we'll
You
see.
think like Portugal failed?
No, 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 no. No, sorry, I don't like that. I would say no, no, no. Portugal is Portugal. I was born there. If it was for Portugal, maybe I wouldn't be born there. I wouldn't be able to travel with Portuguese passport throughout the world. So Portugal is home. That will always be, it will always be home. Never fail me in any way, shape, or form. Always grateful for Portugal. My whole family is there. No, never fail me. Grateful for Portugal, but yes, we can improve. But then again, like England can improve as well. So there's always learnings that we can take from everything and everyone. Uh, Portugal doesn't have every football. Okay, let's change it. Let's improve that. So that's something that's missing, not failing there, but that something's missing. Okay, let's try and do something.
Let's create a football team, Elder FC. For the Amputees. Yeah, so what's your big project now for Arsenal and for England?
So for Arsenal, we're playing the National Premier League at the moment. We are currently in third place. There's not a lot of teams. There's only 4 teams because 5 teams dropped this year from the National League. We changed the rules to international amputee football. So there's only 4 teams this year. So it's finished as high as possible. We are the youngest squad in the whole league. We have a 15-year-old playing with 40-year-olds. So there's a lot to learn. So again, develop the youngsters, give them confidence, because again, they will be the future of the national team. They'll be the future of Arsenal. So this is a learning year for me, for everyone at Arsenal, for the coaches. Do our best. If we can get a cup here and there, that would be amazing to top off the season. But then again, it's going to be a hard, long season with Arsenal. But we are very, very looking forward.
Plans for England.
So with England, we're currently training for the Nations League. We're going to have the Nations League in July this year in Poland. It's going to be against Turkey and Poland and Spain. So 3 of the best teams in the whole world. So we're training very hard towards it. And then next year we'll have the European Championship. And then we'll see. Again, do our best. And
do you always have the same competition as the normal?
Yes. So that's something that the UEFA changed for from now on for this year. So we'll follow the same calendar as FIFA World Cup, European Championship. So we follow the same pattern. So during the year, we'll have the Nations League when there isn't a major competition happening, and then we'll have European or World Cup happening.
An amazing achievement.
Yes, again, it's just wonderful to be able to participate, to meet so many people, to play against nations and do our best and play football. I really love playing football. I genuinely love playing football.
Like a small kid.
I'm still like a small kid. No, it is. And I was speaking with the Arsenal coach this weekend because we had game on a Saturday and we had training on a Sunday. We had training on a Monday. It was raining, but we were there. We love playing. Yeah. So if you can't do it, why you can't? Because again, one leg's gone. Imagine if 2 legs are gone, then you don't play football. No, nothing could happen. Yeah. So you have to play while you can.
What's your message for the people out there that are listening to us, thinking like that you can change a little bit of their world with your kids?
I don't know. I had cancer happening to me and I couldn't control it. So you can't control what happens to you. How you react, you're in charge of that. So I had 2 choices: cry and cancer doesn't like me, the world doesn't like me, and that's my life, poor me, or keep fighting, get a job, change countries, get a life, fight for promotion, fight for sport, fight for a loved one. You always have a choice. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. If you don't want to do that, that's fine, but don't blame anyone else. Again, you can't control what happens to you, but how you react, that's completely up to you.
Thank you for being with us today. I'm looking forward to see you in the next episode with another inspiring and powerful story. Follow us on Spotify and check the links below to learn more about us. Stay tuned and see you soon.